Marvel released the first episode of She-Hulk today, so here are my thoughts. She-Hulk as a character is a character that I don't know too well from the comic, so seeing the series is like my first real fresh insight to her character. And going into this episode, I wasn't sure how to feel and what to make about this series so far, as the first trailer I wasn't really a big fan of, and it wasn't able to build that anticipation and excitement for the show. However, the second trailer done a lot better of a job of actually explaining what the series is about, the style of the series more, as in the first trailer it was more joke, this one. And you saw a lot of from the trailers in the first episode, so it didn't really spoil what was going to come up ahead. And they're also bringing in a new style with this show in the sense that, apart from Deadpool, this is the first Marvel MCU project where they're breaking the fourth wall, and they're going for a more comedic element in their shows compared to the shows that they previously done. And lastly, a positive that I think that should come around based on the show is that it's 9 episodes, and I think that will work better for the show, as we've had WandaVision and What If, and they were both 9 episodes, and all the other 6 episode shows I don't think they worked as well, due to the fact that it felt they had to rush the ending and there wasn't enough time to really flesh out the story or the characters throughout it. And with having 9 episodes that are 30 minutes, it should allow us to not have to rush the story or any character development at all. And initially from this episode, what I really thought worked for this was the fast pacing, in the sense that when we saw her, she was already the Hulk and she was just explaining her story. I thought throughout this first episode, we would be seeing her become the Hulk. We'll take that journey together, not that she's retelling the story of how she became the Hulk. And all the scenes of her and Bruce Banner on the island or in Mexico, I thought those will come in later episodes and not this first one. And another positive from this first episode is that it felt more like a TV series than an actual movie, as other of the Disney Plus shows have felt more like movies split into different parts, and I don't think that works as well. And I think they need to more embrace that it's Disney Plus television and do it more in a TV style to get the best results, and to actually don't feel like you're rushing everything and you have to get everything out in a movie style. And I hope that continues to feel like that throughout the rest of the episodes. And starting off with this episode, we initially have Jennifer as a lawyer and initially breaking the fourth wall straight away to tell the story. And where we meet her at the start, she's already the Hulk and she's explaining her backstory on how she became the Hulk. Then we get into the flashback with Bruce Banner and Jennifer together, and they get into an accident, and whilst Jennifer's saving Bruce, his blood gets into her bloodstream, which allows her to become the Hulk. And as I said before, I'm quite surprised they done it so quickly. I thought that would be towards the end of the episode where she's actually becoming She-Hulk. And also, we got to see the Hulk again as Bruce Banner instead of Professor Hulk, or as they call it, Smart Hulk. And I hope they incorporate that in future shows or movies that the Hulk turns up in. As so far, what we've seen from him in Endgame, I wasn't a big fan of the Professor Hulk. And I was hoping that we could get back to having Bruce Banner and Hulk separate again, as I feel that worked better than the Professor Hulk character. And then we get to Mexico with Hulk trying to teach She-Hulk how to become the Hulk, how to be a superhero, how to control when she is the Hulk and when she's not, and she just wants to go back to being a lawyer. And then we get to the scene where they're both fighting each other, not really like a proper fight. Hulk's more just defending himself as Jennifer wants to go back to LA. And then we get back to LA with Jennifer in the courtroom, and then we get Jamila Jamil's character coming in and Jennifer turning into the She-Hulk in the courtroom. So it doesn't look like she's trying to hide her identity. She doesn't mind everyone knowing that she's She-Hulk at the moment, and that's where the episode ends. And then we get a post-credit scene about Steve Rogers and the joke about the Captain America's ass again, and that was the end of the episode. And as I said earlier, this was a good starting episode. It went a lot further in the story than I was expecting in this so far. And hopefully next week is able to build upon that momentum that it's already had. And I'm looking forward to see how they incorporate Daredevil into the show so far, as I'm not sure in the comments how they link together. And so far from what we've seen, I'm not sure how they're going to link, as she seems to be in LA. Daredevil's more of a New York hero, so how they link together is going to be interesting to see. So let me know your thoughts down below on this episode. Did you like it? Did you not?